Work hard in silence. Let success make the noise. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you the life you want. If you want success, if you want change, if you want to live on your own terms, you have to make it happen. The truth is, most people don't care about your struggles. They don't care about your excuses. The world only sees what you do, not what you intended to do. That's why you have to stop worrying about what others think. Stop waiting for approval. Stop expecting someone to notice your effort. The only thing that matters is your progress, your discipline, your results. In this video, we're going to talk about why you must work hard, stay focused, and stop looking for validation. You'll learn how to ignore distractions, push through challenges, take responsibility for your life, and build the mindset that leads to real success. If you're tired of making excuses, if you're done waiting for things to change, if you're ready to take control and create the life you deserve, then stay with me, because by the end of this you'll understand one thing. Nobody cares. Work hard. Focus on you. Let's begin. Number 1, focus on your own progress, not what others are doing. Transformation. Real change. The kind of change that takes you from where you are right now to where you really want to be. But here's the thing. If you want to transform yourself, if you want to truly disappear from the old version of you and create something better, then you've got to stop focusing on everybody else. You see, too many people spend their days looking around, watching what others are doing. They scroll through social media. They compare their progress. They wonder why they're not further along. And you know what happens when you do that? You waste precious time. You lose focus. You start thinking that maybe you're not good enough, that maybe you're too late, that maybe success just isn't in the cards for you. But let me tell you something. None of that is true. The only thing holding you back is where you're putting your attention. If you want to transform, you've got to focus on your own journey. Stop watching. Stop comparing. It doesn't matter if someone else is ahead. It doesn't matter if someone else is moving faster. It doesn't matter if they seem to have it all figured out. The only thing that matters is that you are improving. Now, I know that's easier said than done. We're wired to compare. We're surrounded by distractions. Everywhere you turn, there's something pulling your attention away from what really matters. But here's the truth. You have to ignore it. If it's not helping you grow, if it's not making you stronger, if it's not pushing you forward, then it's not worth your time. Transformation isn't about watching. It's about doing. It's about making decisions every single day that move you closer to the person you want to become. It's about cutting out the noise and getting to work. Because let me tell you something. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to hand you a new life. Nobody's going to show up and say, here you go, here's your success. No, you have to take it. You have to decide that you are done making excuses, that you are done waiting, that you are done living below your potential. You've got to own it. Every choice, every action, every sacrifice. And that means no more blaming, no more pointing fingers, no more looking for reasons why you can't do it. Because the truth is you can, but you've got to believe that. You've got to be willing to take responsibility for your own future. You've got to be willing to do the work. And make no mistake, it will be work. Real transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not easy. There will be struggles. There will be days when you feel like nothing is changing. Days when you feel like giving up. But listen to me, those are the days that matter the most. Because if you can keep going when it's hard, if you can push through when it feels like nothing is happening, then you are unstoppable. See, most people quit too soon. They start strong, they feel motivated, but the moment things get tough, they stop. They go back to their old habits, their old mindset, their old excuses, and that's why they never change. But that won't be you, because you understand that struggle is part of the process. You understand that the hard days are what separate the ones who succeed from the ones who don't. So you keep moving, you keep learning, you keep growing, and most importantly, you stop caring about what anybody else thinks. Because here's another hard truth. People are going to talk. No matter what you do, no matter what choices you make, there will always be someone with an opinion, someone who doubts you, someone who doesn't believe in you, someone who thinks you're wasting your time. But let me ask you, do they have to live your life? Do they have to deal with your regrets? Do they have to wake up every morning knowing they never went after what they truly wanted? No, you do. So why waste a single second worrying about their opinions? Why let their words stop you from becoming who you're meant to be? The truth is, most people are too busy thinking about themselves to really care what you're doing. and the ones who do have time to criticize. Those are usually the ones who aren't doing anything for themselves. So let them talk, let them doubt, because in the end, the only thing that matters is results, not excuses, not explanations, results. And that's why you've got to keep going. Even when no one sees your effort, even when no one claps for you, even when it feels like nobody cares, because you care, because you know that every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. That's another thing. Celebrate the small wins. Too often people wait for the big moment before they feel proud of themselves. The big job, the big paycheck, the big success story. But the truth is, success isn't one big moment. It's a collection of small, consistent wins. It's every morning you wake up and choose to show up. It's every time you say no to distraction and yes to your goals. It's every little bit of progress that adds up over time. So don't wait. Don't wait until the world recognizes you. Don't wait until you've made it. Celebrate every step, because every step is proof that you are changing. Every step is proof that you are becoming someone new. And one day you'll look back and realize, you did it. You disappeared from the old version of yourself. You transformed. You became someone stronger, someone wiser, someone unstoppable. But it starts now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. So stop watching, stop waiting, get up, get moving. And don't stop until you've built the life you know you're capable of. Because the only thing standing between you and that life, you. Number 2. Ignore the distractions. One of the biggest reasons people don't get ahead isn't because they lack talent. It's not because they don't have opportunities. It's not even because they don't work hard. The reason most people never reach their full potential is distractions. The little things that pull them away from what really matters. See, success isn't just about working hard. It's about staying focused. It's about cutting out the noise, eliminating the things that waste time, and keeping your mind locked in on what you want. But that's not easy, is it? Because everywhere you turn, there's something trying to steal your attention. Your phone buzzes. Social media calls your name. Someone wants to chat. The TV's on. There's always another notification, another piece of news, another reason to stop what you're doing. And here's the thing. If you don't control your attention, someone else will. If you don't set the rules for your focus, the world will pull you in every direction. And before you know it, days, weeks, years have gone by, and you're still in the same place. Not because you didn't want more, not because you didn't have the ability, but because you never stayed focused long enough to build something great. So the question is, how do you ignore the distractions? How do you stay focused in a world that is designed to pull you away from what matters? First, you've got to realize that most distractions are disguised as harmless things. 5 minutes on social media turns into an hour. One episode turns into a whole evening. A quick chat turns into a long conversation that takes you off course. And the worst part, you don't even realize it's happening. Because distractions don't always come with a warning sign. They sneak in, they feel small, they seem like no big deal. But added up over time, they steal your future. So here's what you do. Take control of your environment. If you know something is a distraction, remove it. Put your phone in another room. Turn off the notifications. Set a time limit on the things that eat up your focus. If you're serious about getting somewhere, you have to protect your mind like your life depends on it. Because in a way it does. And let's be real. Most people don't do this. Most people go through life letting distractions run the show. They work a little, then they stop to check their phone. They start something important. Then they get pulled into someone else's drama. They waste time on things that don't get them closer to their goals. And then they wonder why nothing's changing. But if you want more, you've got to do more. And that starts with being ruthless about your focus. Now, another thing, you've got to stop letting people distract you. Because it's not just phones and TV and the internet. It's also the people around you. The ones who don't respect your time. The ones who pull you into their problems. The ones who want you to take it easy because they don't have any big goals themselves. Let me tell you something. If you're surrounded by people who don't care about progress, you're going to have a hard time staying focused. Not because you're not capable, but because energy is contagious. If you spend time with people who waste their days, you'll start wasting yours. If you listen to people who say, Relax. You don't need to work that hard. Eventually, you'll start believing it. So you've got to be smart. You've got to protect your time, protect your focus, protect your future. And that means learning to say no. No to the conversations that don't serve you. No to the invitations that take you away from your goals. No to the habits that slow you down. Because here's the truth. Every time you say yes to a distraction, you're saying no to your success. And the people who truly make it, the ones who go from average to great, they understand this. They know that focus is the real secret. They know that the ones who stay locked in, the ones who eliminate distractions, the ones who are relentless about their time, those are the ones who win. Now let's talk about how to train your focus, because it's not just about removing distractions. It's also about building the habit of deep work. See, most people have a short attention span. They work for 10 minutes, then they stop. They check their phone, they switch tasks. They can't stay with something long enough to make real progress. But if you want to stand out, if you want to get ahead, you've got to train yourself to focus. That means setting blocks of time where you do nothing but work on what matters. No phone, no interruptions, no jumping from one thing to another, just pure, focused effort. It might feel hard at first, but over time, it gets easier. And the better you get at it, the faster you'll grow. Another key, learn to recognize fake productivity, because not all work is real work. Some people stay busy all day but never actually move forward. They check emails. They organize their desk. They scroll through information but never apply it. They tell themselves they're working, but they're really just avoiding the hard stuff. Real work is uncomfortable. It challenges you. It pushes you. And that's why distractions are so tempting, because they give you an easy way out. But when you commit to real work, when you shut out everything that doesn't matter and dive deep into the things that do, that's when everything starts to change. And listen, this isn't about being perfect. Everyone gets distracted sometimes. Everyone loses focus now and then. But the difference between the ones who succeed and the ones who don't is simple. The ones who succeed catch themselves faster. They recognize when they're slipping, and they course correct. They don't let a bad hour turn into a bad day. They don't let a wasted evening turn into a wasted week. They take control, they get back on track, and they keep moving. So here's the challenge. Start paying attention to where your time goes. Notice the distractions. Notice the things that pull you away from what really matters. And then do something about it. Because if you can control your focus, you can control your future. And if you can control your future, there's no limit. Number 3, embrace the hard times. Life isn't always easy. There are going to be times when nothing seems to go your way. When you feel like you're doing everything right, but the results just aren't showing up. When you try and fail, try again and fail again. And in those moments, it's easy to feel frustrated. It's easy to wonder if you should just give up. But let me tell you something. Those hard times, that's where the real growth happens. That's where you build the kind of strength, the kind of resilience, the kind of mindset that creates success. Most people want life to be smooth. They want success without struggle. They want the rewards without the challenges. But that's not how it works. You don't get strong by avoiding hard times. You get strong by going through them. You get strong by facing the struggle, by standing up to the difficulties, by refusing to back down when life gets tough. Because here's the truth. Every single person who has ever achieved something great had to push through the hard times. They didn't wake up one day and find success waiting for them. They had to fight for it. They had to stay disciplined when they didn't feel like it. They had to keep going when it would have been easier to quit. So the question isn't, will things get tough? The question is, what will you do when they do? Will you let the hard times break you, or will you use them to make you stronger? Most people don't realize this, but struggle is a test. It's life's way of seeing how badly you really want something. Anyone can stay motivated when things are easy. Anyone can work hard when everything is going right. But what do you do when things aren't going right? That's the real test. That's where success is built. Because when you embrace the hard times, when you stop running from them and start seeing them as an opportunity, you become unstoppable. You stop being afraid of failure because you understand that failure is just part of the process. You stop looking for shortcuts because you realize that the real reward is in who you become in the process. Think about the strongest people you know, the ones who inspire you, the ones who seem unshakable. I guarantee you, they didn't get that way by having an easy life. They got that way because they faced struggles. They went through the fire, and instead of letting it destroy them, they let it make them stronger. And you can do the same. Now let's talk about how to actually do it. Because it's one thing to say embrace the hard times, but it's another thing to actually live it. First, stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's easy to complain. It's easy to talk about how unfair things are, how hard things are, how you wish things were different. But complaining doesn't change anything. All it does is drain your energy. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to get better? Second, stop waiting for things to get easier. They won't. Life is always going to have challenges. There will always be obstacles. There will always be something standing in your way. But that's not a reason to stop. It's a reason to push harder. Because every time you overcome an obstacle, you get stronger. Every time you push through a challenge, you get better. And the more you do it, the more unstoppable you become. Third, train yourself to see struggle as a gift. Because it is. Struggle builds character. Struggle builds discipline. Struggle forces you to grow in ways that comfort never will. If you never struggled, you'd never change. You'd never develop the skills, the mindset, the discipline you need to reach the next level. Think about it like this. When you go to the gym, what makes your muscles grow? Resistance. You have to push against something. You have to struggle. If it's easy, it's not making you stronger. And life works the same way. If you avoid the struggle, you stay weak. But if you embrace it, if you push through it, you come out stronger on the other side. Fourth, stay focused on the long game. Most people give up too soon. They hit a roadblock, and they assume it means they're not meant to succeed. But that's not true. Success is always on the other side of struggle. The people who make it aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who keep going after they fail. They're the ones who refuse to quit. And last, keep reminding yourself why you started in the first place. Because when things get tough, it's easy to forget. It's easy to lose sight of your goals, to lose motivation, to start thinking, maybe this isn't worth it. But if you have a strong enough why, you'll always find a way to push through. So the next time life gets hard, don't run from it. Don't complain about it. Don't let it break you. Embrace it. Face it head on. Use it to become stronger, wiser, better. Because the truth is, the hard times aren't there to stop you. They're there to shape you into the person you're meant to be. And if you can learn to embrace them, there's nothing you can't achieve. Number 4, own your journey and stop blaming others. Life is full of choices. Every day you make decisions that shape your future, how you spend your time, how you react to challenges, how you handle setbacks. And the truth is, where you end up in life will be a direct result of those choices. Not what someone else did, not what the economy is doing, not what your parents, your boss, or your friends say. It's about you. But here's the problem. Most people don't take ownership of their lives. They blame their circumstances. They blame other people. They blame their past. They point fingers at everything except the one person who actually has the power to change their life, themselves. And I get it. It's easier to blame. It's easier to say, I didn't get the opportunities that others got. It's easier to say, it's because of my family, my boss, my childhood, my bad luck. It's easier because when you blame, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to change. You don't have to take responsibility. But let me tell you something, blaming won't get you anywhere. It won't make you successful. It won't help you grow. It won't take you to the next level. All it does is keep you stuck. And if you're tired of being stuck, if you're tired of feeling like life isn't going the way you want, the first thing you have to do is own your journey. What does that mean? It means realizing that everything in your life, good or bad, is your responsibility. It means understanding that while you can't always control what happens to you, you can control how you respond. It means deciding right now that no matter where you've been, no matter what's happened in your past, you are in charge of what happens next. And listen, I'm not saying life is fair. It's not. Some people start with more. Some people have to work harder. Some people face challenges that others don't. But what's the alternative? Spend your whole life complaining, wishing things were different, wasting time thinking about what you don't have instead of using what you do have. No, that's not how you win. That's not how you build something great. The people who succeed in life, the ones who go from nothing to something, they all have one thing in common. They own their journey. They don't sit around making excuses. They don't wait for someone to save them. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They take what they have and they make the most of it. They work with what they've got and they make it happen. So let me ask you, are you owning your journey or are you blaming? Are you looking for solutions or are you looking for excuses? Because you can't have both. You can't move forward while holding on to blame. You can't build a great life while focusing on what's wrong. Now let's talk about how to start owning your journey. Because it's not just about saying, I'm responsible. It's about living that way every single day. First, stop making excuses. Excuses feel good in the moment, but they rob you of progress. If you didn't get the job, don't say, it's because the hiring manager didn't like me. Ask yourself, what can I do better next time? If you didn't hit your goals, don't say, it's because of bad luck. Ask, where did I go wrong? And what can I improve? The moment you stop making excuses, you take back your power. Second, take control of your actions. If you want things to change, you have to change. If you want better results, you have to do better. No one is coming to do it for you. No one is going to wake you up early. No one is going to force you to put in the work. No one is going to hand you success. You have to decide every day that you are going to do what it takes, no matter what. Third, stop waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect situation. If you're waiting for everything to line up just right, you'll be waiting forever. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to start. Fourth, understand that failure is part of the journey. A lot of people blame others because they don't want to take responsibility for their failures. But failure is not the end. It's feedback. It's a lesson. It's a stepping stone. If you fail, don't waste time pointing fingers. Look at what went wrong, learn from it, and move forward stronger. And finally, commit to the long game. Owning your journey isn't something you do for a day, a week, or a month. It's a lifelong commitment. It's waking up every day and deciding that no matter what happens, you are responsible for your future. It's staying disciplined even when you don't feel like it. It's pushing forward even when things get tough. Because at the end of the day, no one is going to live your life for you. No one is going to build your dreams for you. No one is going to make things happen for you. It's all on you. And that's not a burden. That's freedom. Because if you are in control, that means you can change things. That means you can create the life you want. So stop blaming. Stop waiting. Stop looking for excuses. Take full ownership of your journey and start moving forward. Because once you do, there is nothing that can stop you. Number 5, keep learning and growing. If you want to change your life, if you want to achieve something great, if you want to become more than you are today, there's one thing you must do. Keep learning and growing. Most people stop learning the moment they leave school. They think education is something that ends, but that's a mistake, because life is always changing. The world is always moving. And if you're not growing, you're falling behind. If you're not learning, you're staying the same. And if you stay the same, you're never going to reach the next level. Think about the most successful people in the world, the people who build great businesses, the people who become leaders, the people who achieve their dreams. What do they all have in common? They never stop learning. They never stop improving. They never assume they know it all. Instead, they stay curious. They ask questions. They read. They study. They look for ways to get better every single day. Because success isn't about what you already know. It's about what you're willing to learn. And that's the difference between people who grow and people who stay stuck. The people who grow are always looking for the next lesson. They're always trying to improve. They're always looking for a way to be better than they were yesterday. Now, some people say, I don't have time to learn. But let me tell you something. If you don't have time to learn, you don't have time to grow. And if you don't have time to grow, you don't have time for success. Because the truth is, you make time for what's important. You find a way. If you have time to watch TV, if you have time to scroll through your phone, if you have time to complain about how things aren't going your way, then you have time to learn. And learning doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to go back to school. You don't need to sit in a classroom. Learning happens every day if you're paying attention. It happens when you read a book. It happens when you listen to people who know more than you. It happens when you make a mistake and take the time to understand what went wrong. Because life will teach you lessons, but only if you're willing to learn. Now let's talk about how to actually keep learning and growing. First, read. Read every day. Read books that challenge you. Read books that teach you something new. Read about success, about mindset, about leadership, about finance, about communication. If you don't like reading, listen to audiobooks, listen to podcasts. Feed your mind with information that makes you better. Second, surround yourself with people who challenge you. If you spend time with people who have no goals, who aren't growing, who don't want more out of life, guess what? You'll stay the same. But if you surround yourself with people who are learning, who are pushing themselves, who are striving for more, you'll be forced to grow. You'll be inspired to improve. Third, learn from your failures. Too many people see failure as the end of the road. But failure isn't the end. It's feedback. It's life's way of showing you what needs to change. If you fail, don't waste time feeling bad about it. Study it. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? Because if you learn from failure, it's not failure at all. It's growth. Fourth, stay curious. Ask questions. If you don't understand something, find out. If you want to learn a new skill, go after it. If you see someone doing something well, ask them how they do it. The more curious you are, the more you'll grow. Fifth, push yourself out of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. It happens when you challenge yourself. It happens when you try something new. It happens when you step into situations that scare you a little. Because every time you push yourself, you expand what you're capable of. And finally, apply what you learn. Knowledge is useless if you don't use it. You can read all the books in the world, but if you don't take action, nothing changes. Learning is only powerful when you apply it. So ask yourself, are you growing? Are you learning every day? Are you getting better? Because if you're not, you're staying the same. And if you stay the same, nothing in your life will change. But if you commit to learning, if you make growth a priority, if you push yourself to improve every day, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Because the more you grow, the more your life will grow. The more you learn, the more opportunities will open up. The more you improve, the more success will come your way. So never stop learning, never stop growing, never settle for what you know today. Keep pushing, keep improving, keep becoming the best version of yourself. Because that's how you build a life worth living. Number 6, no one will hand you success. You must take it. Success is not something that someone will hand to you. No one is going to walk up and say, here you go. Here's the life of your dreams. It doesn't work that way. If you want something in life, if you want success, if you want freedom, if you want to change your circumstances, you have to go get it. You have to take it. Most people sit around waiting. They wait for the perfect opportunity. They wait for someone to notice them. They wait for luck. But waiting never built anything great. Waiting never made anyone successful. Waiting doesn't put money in your bank account. Action does. You have to stop expecting life to be fair. Life doesn't owe you anything. The world doesn't owe you a thing. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to do the work for you. And that might sound harsh, but it's the truth. And the moment you accept it, the moment you take full responsibility for your future, everything changes. Think about it. Have you ever seen a successful person who just sat back and waited? Have you ever heard a story of someone who became great because they were lucky? No, because that's not how success works. Success goes to the people who take action, the ones who refuse to sit back, the ones who decide, I'm going to make this happen, no matter what. Now let's talk about how to take success instead of waiting for it. Because it's not just about wanting it. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants a better life. But very few people are willing to do what it takes. First, you have to develop a relentless work ethic. Success doesn't come from working when you feel like it. It comes from working when you don't feel like it. It comes from putting in the effort every single day, even when you're tired, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching. Because the ones who succeed are the ones who show up day after day and do the work. Second, you have to stop making excuses. If you're not where you want to be, you have two choices. You can blame your circumstances, or you can change them. You can say, I didn't have the right opportunities, or you can create opportunities for yourself. You can say, I don't know how, or you can learn how. You can say, it's too hard, or you can push through, but you can't do both. You can't make excuses and succeed at the same time. Third, you need to take risks. Playing it safe won't get you anywhere. If you want to do something big, if you want to change your life, you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to bet on yourself. Most people don't succeed because they're afraid to try. They're afraid of what people will think. They're afraid of failing. But if you let fear stop you, you'll never move forward. Fourth, you need to be willing to sacrifice. Success comes at a cost. It requires time, effort, and discipline. It means saying no to distractions. It means putting in the extra hours. It means choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. And most people aren't willing to do that. They want success and comfort. But you have to decide, do you want an easy life now, or do you want a great life later? Because you can't have both. Fifth, you have to believe in yourself. No one is going to believe in you until you prove yourself. No one is going to hand you opportunities just because you want them. You have to show the world that you're serious, that you're committed, that you won't quit. And that starts with believing in your own ability to make things happen. And finally, you have to take massive action. Stop waiting, stop planning, stop talking about what you're going to do someday. Do it now. Success doesn't come from wishing. It doesn't come from thinking about it. It comes from doing. It comes from making decisions and taking steps forward, even when you're not sure if it will work, even when you're scared, because action is what creates results. So ask yourself, are you taking success, or are you waiting for it? Are you doing what it takes, or are you hoping it will come to you? Because if you're waiting, you're going to be waiting forever. Nothing changes until you change. Nothing happens until you make it happen. But the good news is this: you can take success. You can change your life. You can get to where you want to go. But it starts with a decision to stop waiting, a decision to stop making excuses, a decision to go after it with everything you've got, because no one is going to hand it to you. But if you're willing to work for it, fight for it, take it, then there is nothing you can't achieve. Number 7, people will talk no matter what. Do what's best for you. People will always have something to say. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, no matter what choices you make, someone, somewhere, will have an opinion about it. Some will support you. Some will doubt you. Some will criticize you. That's just the way the world works. And if you spend your life trying to please everyone, you will never get anywhere. If you let their opinions control you, you will stay stuck. Because no matter what you do, you cannot make everyone happy. You cannot live your life based on what others think. The only way to move forward, the only way to build something great, is to do what's best for you. Too many people live their lives according to what others expect. They follow the path that makes sense to their family. They take the safe route because their friends tell them to. They hold back their dreams because they're afraid of being judged. But let me tell you something. If you keep worrying about what people think, you will never do anything meaningful. You will never take risks. You will never reach your full potential. Because every time you try to do something big, every time you try to change, every time you take a step towards success, there will be people who don't like it. People who will question you. People who will tell you you're wasting your time. People who will doubt you. But here's the truth. Those people don't matter. Their opinions don't pay your bills. Their opinions don't build your future. Their opinions don't put in the work. You do. So stop worrying about them. Stop letting them control you. Because the moment you stop living for them, the moment you start doing what's right for you, that's the moment your life will begin to change. Now let's talk about how to do that. First, be clear about what you want. If you don't know what you want, if you don't have a vision for your life, it's easy to get distracted by what other people think. It's easy to let their opinions sway you. But when you know what you want, when you have a goal, a mission, a purpose, then it doesn't matter what they say. You stay focused. You stay on track because you know where you're going. Second, understand that people's opinions are often based on their own fears. When someone tells you, that won't work, or you shouldn't do that, what they're really saying is, I wouldn't do that. They are projecting their fears onto you. They are telling you what they would do in your situation. But their fears are not your fears. Their limits are not your limits. Just because they don't believe in something doesn't mean you shouldn't go for it. Third, realize that most people are too busy with their own lives to care about yours. We spend so much time worrying about what others will think, but the truth is, most people aren't thinking about you that much. They have their own problems, their own struggles, their own lives to deal with. And even if they do talk about you, it's temporary. They'll move on to something else soon enough. So don't let a few words from someone else stop you from doing what's best for you. Fourth, build your confidence through action. The more you take action, the less you care about what others think. When you start making progress, when you start seeing results, when you prove to yourself that you can do it, their opinions won't bother you as much because you know what you're capable of. Fifth, surround yourself with people who support you. If you spend time with negative people, people who doubt you, people who criticize everything you do, it will drag you down. But if you surround yourself with people who encourage you, people who push you, people who believe in you, it will lift you up. And finally, make peace with the fact that not everyone will understand your journey. Some people will criticize you. Some will talk behind your back. Some will try to bring you down. That's just part of the process. But that's their problem, not yours. Your job is to keep moving forward, to stay focused, to do what's right for you. So ask yourself, are you living for them, or are you living for you? Are you making choices based on their opinions, or are you making choices based on what you truly want? Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with your decisions. You are the one who has to face the consequences of your actions. And if you spend your life trying to please everyone else, you will never be happy. You will never reach your full potential. You will never achieve the success you're capable of. But if you focus on your path, if you do what's best for you, if you keep moving forward, no matter what anyone says, then nothing can stop you. Because the opinions of others don't determine your future. You do. Number 8. The only person you should compete with is yourself. Most people spend their lives looking around, measuring themselves against others. They compare their success, their progress, their achievements, even their failures. And because of this, they always feel like they're falling behind. They look at someone else who's doing better, and they think, why am I not there yet? They see someone who got ahead faster, and they feel discouraged. But here's the truth. Your real competition isn't other people. The only person you should compete with is yourself. Because if you're always looking at what others are doing, you'll never focus on what you need to do. If you're always trying to keep up with someone else, you'll never find your own path. And if you're always chasing someone else's version of success, you might reach the top, only to realize it wasn't even what you wanted in the first place. The only thing that matters is this. Are you better today than you were yesterday? That's it. Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you improving? Because that's how real success happens. Not by beating someone else, but by beating who you used to be. Now let's talk about how to make that happen. First, set your own standards. If you let society, your family, or your friends define success for you, you'll always feel like you're behind. Because there will always be someone richer, smarter, faster, more successful. But if you decide what success looks like for you, then the only person you need to measure up to is yourself. Second, track your progress. Too many people don't realize how far they've come because they never stop to look back. They're so focused on how far they have to go that they don't see how much they've already improved. So take time to recognize your progress. Look at where you were last year, last month, last week. See the growth. That's proof that you're moving forward. Third, challenge yourself daily. If you want to grow, you need to step outside your comfort zone. You need to push yourself to do things that are difficult. Because growth doesn't happen when things are easy. Growth happens when you struggle, when you stretch yourself, when you do the hard things that other people avoid. Fourth, stop worrying about how fast other people are moving. Some people will get ahead quicker than you. Some will take longer. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that you stay in the race, that you keep going, even if your progress is slow, because as long as you're moving forward, you're winning. Fifth, learn from others without comparing. It's good to be inspired by successful people. It's good to study them, to learn their habits, to take notes on what works. But don't compare yourself to them, because you're not on their path. You don't have their background, their experiences, their struggles. Focus on your path. Learn from them, but don't compete with them. Sixth, be patient with your progress. Growth takes time. Success takes time. You won't see results overnight, but every effort you make, every step you take, every lesson you learn, it all adds up. The key is to stay consistent, to keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening, because the results will come, as long as you keep putting in the work. And finally, celebrate your small wins. Too many people wait until they hit some big goal before they feel proud of themselves. But success isn't just about the big wins. It's about the small daily victories. The times you showed up when you didn't feel like it. The times you pushed through when it was hard. The times you kept going when you could have quit. So ask yourself, who were you last year? Who were you last month? Who were you last week? Are you better today than you were then? Because that's the only thing that matters. Not how someone else is doing. Not how fast they're moving. Your growth. Your progress. Because at the end of the day, the only person you need to beat is who you were yesterday. And if you keep improving, if you keep growing, if you keep competing with yourself, then success is inevitable. Number 9, no one cares about your excuses. They only see results. Life doesn't reward excuses. It rewards results. The world doesn't care why you didn't succeed, why you didn't follow through, or why things didn't work out. All it sees is whether you got the job done or not. Now that might sound harsh, but it's the truth. Too many people waste their lives explaining why they can't do something, instead of finding a way to do it. They blame their circumstances, their past, their lack of time, their lack of resources. But here's what you have to understand. Excuses don't change anything. No matter how valid they seem, they don't move you forward. The only thing that changes your life is action. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have built something great. Do you think they never had obstacles? Do you think they never faced hard times? Of course they did. But instead of making excuses, they found solutions. Instead of sitting around talking about why things were unfair, they got to work. And that's why they succeeded. Now let's talk about how you can do the same. First, take full responsibility for your life. The moment you stop blaming other people, the moment you stop blaming your past, the moment you stop blaming the system, everything changes. Because as long as you blame something outside of yourself, you're giving away your power. But when you take full responsibility, you take back control. You realize that no matter what happens, it's your job to figure it out. Second, be honest with yourself. If you're not making progress, don't sugarcoat it. Don't make excuses. Look at your habits. Look at your decisions. Look at how you're spending your time. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because of luck. It's not because of someone else. It's because of the choices you've made up to this point. And the good news is, if your choices got you here, different choices can get you out of here. Third, stop waiting for the perfect conditions. So many people put their dreams on hold because they're waiting for the right time. They're waiting until they have more money, more confidence, more support. But guess what? The right time never comes. There will always be obstacles. There will always be challenges. You just have to start where you are, with what you have, and figure it out along the way. Fourth, develop a results-driven mindset. Instead of focusing on what's stopping you, focus on what you can do. If something doesn't work, try something else. If you don't have the skills, learn them. If you don't have the resources, find a way to get them. Stop talking about what's missing and start taking action with what you do have. Fifth, build the habit of discipline. Success isn't about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. What matters is discipline, the ability to show up and do the work, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's hard. Because at the end of the day, that's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Sixth, measure your progress based on actions, not intentions. So many people intend to do great things. They talk about their big plans, their big goals, their big ideas, but none of that matters if they don't take action. Stop judging yourself by what you say you'll do, and start judging yourself by what you actually do. And finally, commit to being someone who gets things done. When you say you're going to do something, do it. When you set a goal, go after it. When you make a promise to yourself, keep it. Because success isn't about luck. It's not about circumstances. It's about making a decision, following through, and refusing to quit. So the next time you catch yourself making an excuse, stop and ask yourself, is this helping me, or is this holding me back? Because at the end of the day, no one cares why you didn't make it. They only see the results. And if you want success, you have to stop explaining why you can't, and start proving that you can. Number 10. Celebrate your small wins. Most people are so focused on the big goal that they forget to celebrate the progress they've already made. They work hard, push forward, and overcome obstacles. But instead of recognizing their effort, they tell themselves, it's not enough yet. They think they can only feel proud once they've reached the final destination. But here's the truth. If you don't appreciate the small wins, you'll never appreciate the big ones. Success isn't one big moment. It's a series of small steps, daily efforts, and little victories that add up over time. And if you don't stop to celebrate those moments, you'll always feel like you're chasing something you can never catch. Think about it. If you only allow yourself to feel good when you reach some huge milestone, what happens in the meantime? You spend years working, struggling, and pushing, but you never feel like you're succeeding. And that's why so many people give up. They don't quit because they're incapable. They quit because they don't feel like they're winning. But if you learn to celebrate your small wins, you give yourself the motivation to keep going. Now, how do you do this? First, recognize your progress. Take a moment to look back at where you started. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but you're not where you used to be either. Maybe you've developed new habits. Maybe you've learned new skills. Maybe you've overcome challenges that would have stopped you before. That's progress, and progress is worth celebrating. Second, stop comparing your wins to someone else's. Just because someone else is further along doesn't mean your success isn't important. Everyone is on a different journey. What matters is that you're moving forward. Even if your progress seems small, it's still movement in the right direction. Third, set smaller milestones. A lot of people set huge goals, but never break them down into smaller steps. So they work and work, but they never feel like they're accomplishing anything. Instead of just focusing on the final goal, create checkpoints along the way. When you hit one, take a moment to appreciate it. That feeling of success will fuel your motivation to keep going. Fourth, reward yourself. It doesn't have to be something big. It could be something simple. Taking a break, treating yourself to something nice, or just acknowledging your hard work. A reward reinforces the habit. It trains your mind to associate effort with positive results. Fifth, develop a winning mindset. If you only focus on what's missing, you'll always feel like you're failing. But if you train yourself to see and appreciate your wins, no matter how small, you'll build confidence. And confidence creates momentum. When you feel like you're winning, you keep going. When you keep going, you build success. And finally, remember why you started. When the journey feels long, when the goal still seems far away, remind yourself of what you've already accomplished. Every step forward matters. Every effort counts. Success isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about learning, growing, and improving along the way. So don't wait until the big moment to feel good about yourself. Don't put off happiness until everything is perfect. Because success isn't just in the destination, it's in the journey. And if you learn to celebrate your small wins, you'll find the strength to keep going until you reach the big ones. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing. No one is going to do the work for you. No one is going to push you when you feel like quitting. No one is going to care about your excuses. The only thing that matters is what you do. You have two choices. Keep waiting, keep complaining, and keep making excuses. Or take control, put in the work, and build the life you want. The choice is yours. Success isn't about luck. It's not about talent. It's about showing up every day, putting in the effort, and refusing to quit. And the best part, when you finally make it, when you see the results of your hard work, you won't need anyone's validation. You'll know you earned it. So stop worrying about what others think. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop making excuses. Just get to work. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares. Work hard, focus on you, and go make it happen.